So there was a little breather valve on the Jeep that was pretty rotted. Like, it's just kind of gross. It's all crumbly and just in desperate need of replacement. I wasn't able to find the exact piece for this. I looked around, tried figuring out what it was, and I couldn't really figure it out. I'll try to show you guys where that is in a second, but I don't know if I'll be able to, just because it's kind of a weird spot for the camera to get to. My dog's trying to get some attention. But with what I have here, I think I should be able to replace it on my own, or create my own, essentially. So I'm going to try to do that, and once that's done, I'm going to do a little pressure wash of the engine. I'm going to be gentle with it, but spray some engine degreaser, clean everything down, just so I can get ready for everything else I'm going to have to do in there, mainly the coolant system replacement. It's just easier if there's no oil, there's no grease, things like that, to just do everything I need. So that's going to be the plan today. We'll see how it goes. So in terms of the pipe that, the little hose that we're replacing, this is the breather that it comes off of down there that the scissors are touching, and just had it a second ago. There it is. And then that's what it goes to. And like I said, I had a hard time finding what that was. Granted, I'm not really the most skilled person in this ever. But, in my searching around, it's just down here again for reference. So in my searching around, I wasn't able to figure out the specific part for that, but I figured just making my own hoses for it would probably suffice. But besides that, the engine bay itself is going to get a nice clean today. So it's just a little gross. I'm not really as concerned about the dust. It's just kind of like the grime and the grit and the oil and stuff that's everywhere. So I'm gonna get that cleaned up today, hopefully before it rains, since we're supposed to get some more before like noon. So I've got, I don't know, maybe an hour or so. So let's get to it. Alright, so it actually seems to have worked pretty well. So that's now holding. So I'm gonna give you guys a seizure with my shaky hands. That's now holding, it looks like. So I feel comfortable starting the pressure wash. So let's do that and see how much of a difference we can make. Alright, so I think I'm all set up to go ahead and do the wash. I've got this engine degreaser that I'm also going to use on it. I'm going to do this I'm going to set the camera up inside just so I don't get it wet, and I'm not sure if it's going to start raining. It started drizzling on me a second ago, just setting everything up. So there's probably going to be some dirt spots in the window that you guys are going to have to look through. I apologize about that, but just is what it is. So one last look at the nastiness before hopefully it's nice and clean. Alright, so here's what we're working with now. So it definitely looks better, and you might ask, like, aren't you supposed to block off electrical connections and whatnot before you do spraying in there? Yeah, absolutely, you're supposed to. Did I? No, I didn't, and we're going to find out together whether that was a bad idea. But I did avoid trying to like spray things directly, you know, like this right here, you can see, for example, is still cruddy because I didn't want to directly spray the connection. Over here, where all the wiring is, like the surfaces here still aren't super well done because I didn't want to like directly spray where all the wires are. So like I did take some caution in trying to like not directly spray things. One thing I did do though is I would always put my hand over the air intake just to no water or no degreaser got in there. So I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. Like if you know look underneath, like that's the ground right there, right? So if you're off-roading, if you're just driving on the roads and it's raining and there's puddles, it's all gonna splash up underneath the engine anyway and gonna get all those connectors. So long as you're not directly spraying them with pressurized water to the point where they're gonna be, you know, under significant strain, I feel like it's probably fine. Like I said, we're gonna figure that out together, but I'm not too terribly worried about it. If I was, I would have taken more precaution. But yeah, no, I think this looks really good. I think it'll make it so when, you know, I go to do things now, like it's not gonna be as gross to touch stuff. I guess it's a little gross. Maybe I should hit that again. But it won't be quite as gross to touch stuff. I actually might hit that again because that's a little nasty. It's kind of what I was trying to avoid. But yeah, I think it's overall a huge improvement. That would have been way grosser a second ago. So one thing I also want to note about the pressure washing is the pressure that I had it at was very low. Like, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I put my hand in front of it a couple times just to test the pressure, and even directly in front of the nozzle, it didn't even remotely sting. So, you know, if you are going to do this yourself, just keep that in mind. Like, I had to really get it close to things to get some stuff off. Like, I had to pretty much touch the nozzle to the top of this just to get that relatively just like surface level grime off. So it was pretty low pressure considering it was from a pressure washer. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you do decide you want to do this for yourself after seeing how things turned out here.